Put your ass away, child!
Ivawins just subscribed.
Put your ass away, child!
Daydream just subscribed. Carl's love Carl's toss.
Thank you for the sub.
Put your ass away, child!
Bookish Bexley just subscribed. Sending hugs, hugging face emoji.
Thank you for the sub.
Put your ass away, child!
Ren just subscribed. Hankst love Hankst love Hankst love Hankst love.
Lake Titicaca. Hakuna Matatas.
Dawn underscore stir just resubbed for 38 months.
Hakuna.
You've been down. You got yourself some good company now. Hey kid, you've been down. You got yourself some good company now. Hey kid, you've been down. You got yourself some good company now. Hey kid, pull it together. I'm gonna pull it together. Talk me down until I beg.
Girl.
You know what?
Girl.
Pull it together.
Guys, who...
Shake me out. I wanna
You know. I can't help myself. No, I know I'm having probably the rest of the weekend off. And while Reese had to run and grab something for work, I was like, you know what? I'll say a bit of a hello and have a giggle. And then I'll stay offline for the rest of the weekend. But you guys are the best. So it's nice just to like have a comfy yap, you know? Oh my god, Taxi Sim Axel. Holy shit. Oh my god. No. That's so funny. Taxi Sim is so bad but so good. It has literally bad reviews, but that's why I bought it. Because I was like, we're going to have so much fun with this. Hello. We need a little gig, if you will. I heard there was kind of like I'm showered, shaved, and moisturized. Yeah. Hi, Kyle. No, Lizzie, you know what? I'm going to put it back. But I realized my first KFC sponsor, I had that tag. And then I was like, that's probably not a bad thing. But I removed it for the other sponsors. Because I was like, if they see my like I'm live with the sponsor. And then they look at the tags. And they're like, easily scared but sexy. I'd be like, so I removed it. But I'm putting it back. I just thought, just in case it gets me in trouble. Which it wouldn't. But, you know, just in case. Just be aware of it, you know? A little gig, a little gag. Hi, Chans. Thank you, doll. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, mum. Exactly. Family friendly, I guess. Honestly, I probably didn't need to do it. Wait, how loud is that? That's good. Okay. Yeah, I probably didn't need to do it, but I was like,
Thank you for the sub.
I don't know. Thank you, Lauren.
Put your ass away,
I
child.
appreciate you. Honestly,
Lauren Wood just subscribed. Thinking of you but always down to giggle a bit
thank
if I
you.
may.
Thank you. I know, look, I know this is very naughty, but I thought because I'm going to be off for a few days anyway,
Put your ass away,
while
child.
Reese is popped out, I'll just
Abby Dabby do
say
underscore
hello,
97
get a
just
giggle because you guys are the
subscribed.
best.
Lots
and
of
then
love. Doll Carl's love giggles heal the soul.
I'll do some cleaning and stuff. But you know what's so cute? You have a belly button, mum? No way. What the hell? By the way, thank you for all the resubs. Oh my god. Doctor's orders. I can tell you a
Gamer
funny
Guy
story.
187 just
I know I'm a bad
resubbed
girl,
for
but I
58
promise I'll
months.
have the rest of the weekend
Carl's
off.
I'll just leave it, we all love you.
Thank
and
you,
Pete
doll.
Char and Tiddies.
Yep.
Okay, I ruined it.
No, perfect.
I'll back away from the computer.
Yeah, true,
Hugs
cat.
for you, you
True.
fabulous human.
Thank you, gamer. Thank you, Ali, Abby, Lauren, Dawn, Ren, Bexley, Daydream,
Hakuna.
Eva. Thank you, angels. I appreciate that.
Batatas.
Thank you, Ali.
Ali Stevens just resubbed for 31 months.
Titty Kaka.
I adore the fuck out of you and sending you
too,
1 million
Hakuna.
love,
I
naughty
appreciate
boy.
you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, doll.
Lake
Noodle
Titty
head.
Kaka.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Hakuna.
Axel.
Batatas.
That's a whole world in there. Belly buttons are
Mrs.
weird,
Cruiser
huh?
13 just resubbed for
Lake
40
I
months.
know.
Eva.
Sending you all my love, Noodlehead.
Thank you.
Hakuna.
I really appreciate it. I really do. Honestly, it was like what everyone said. It was the most like beautiful, hard thing ever, but it was perfect. The lady we had was so perfect and she was so lovely. Honestly, like no regrets at all. Obviously, the bad part of it, I wish we didn't have to do that, but like I'm glad we went with what we went with. They were so beautiful. Like it was actually really gorgeous. It was perfect, yeah. Tash, 9 days. How are you, my love? Honestly, she was so beautiful. She was so, but something really funny happened, and like we didn't laugh, Reese and I, but we talked about it after. She was very cute, and she grabbed the candle, and she's like, "Now, we're gonna light a candle for Mimi." And she had the wrong candle. She had like one that said Quinn. And before she lit it, she lit it and she went, "Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Now we light a candle for me." And it was so funny because like I found that hilarious. Obviously I didn't go like, "Ah," because I was bawling my eyes out. But I was like, that is so funny. So now Reese and I will walk around the house and be like, I miss Quinn. But anyway, but that was cute. Honestly, like you need to find funny stuff in this shit because it's so like I go from like, hi Nat. I go from like, as you know, like if anyone's gone through this, like you cry like this, but then you also can have a giggle, and then you'll just be heartbroken again, and then you'll have a giggle, and it's just like you need to do it like that. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you, doll. I appreciate that.
Hey
Thank
Fair
you.
444 has gifted 5 subs.
Thank you,
Naughty
Tash.
boy.
Something that sends me so much, like gives me so much happiness is how a part of this channel she was. Like genuinely from the first stream to the end, like that makes me really happy. Yeah, no, Kat. Like I struggled last night to fall asleep because I didn't feel her lump in bed. But then also like Reese is making me laugh a lot because he's the best. It's just like, you know. Kyle! Pookie! Oh, I'm surprised that's not. What? What the hell? Pookie! Thank you.
Aqua Kyle 2000 donated 100 Australian dollars.
Babe.
Thinking of you and mum extra hard RN.
Thank
You
you.
both have had a hard year, and just
Yeah.
wanna give this so you guys can have a nice treat on me.
That's
Love you
nice.
so much, my dear.
I'll take mum out for I was gonna say cuddles, but yes. Cuddles and lunch next week. Thank you so
Put
much.
your ass away,
That's
child.
beautiful. Kyle.
Weezy Bum 25 just
Exactly,
subscribed.
Tash. Yeah.
Massive virtual hug for you,
Exactly.
Doll 20. Love you and the
And
community
Weezy.
SM.
What the hell? Kyle, that's so beautiful. You don't have to do that. Thank you, my love. And Wheezy Tier 2 is ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's very, very beautiful. Mum, you can have this, by the way, if you'd like. We got, this was really cute because she was like, which part of her fur do you want? And I was like, I'm not too sure, like, because I wasn't really thinking of that, but she got one where, like, you see all her colors, which is cute because she had gray tips in her fur as well. So that was really cute. She's a little old lady baby, so she had like gray tips, which was very sweet. So if you would like this, Mum, I would love for you to have it. But it was so cute. Honestly, like Mia did such a good job as well. Like I was so proud of her because she was like, so is she going to resist? Like, is she like, will she scratch me? Like, just tell me about her personality. And I was like, she loves you already. Like she's already like showing you a belly. Like she's not gonna do anything. And she's like, oh, she might resist the first needle. She might do this. She might do that. And honestly, like she just was so well behaved. Like, I mean, she could have shat on the walls and I would have been fine with it. But like, she was so just perfect. She was perfect. And it was a great experience. The Quinn thing made me laugh. The photo we got of her was so sweet as well. Like, they really did a really good job. Like, I don't regret it at all going private. It was like, honestly, as good as you can get for a situation like that. Like, it was perfect. Because she was on her heating pad. She was on her heating pad on the bed. And we had, like, lights on, like mood lighting. And, like, it was probably, yeah, she would have been, like, in seventh heaven, honestly. But also pouring one out for Quinn because he was probably next. Again, sorry, making these dark ass jokes. That's the mood I'm in. I go from like I'll be sorry, that was my love to Quinn. I'll be like Reese would be in the shower and be like, hello, like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm sad. And then he would just like he would just come to me and give me big cuddles and big kisses, and then we'll be joking about something the next second. But it's just like, he's honestly like the best. But he needed to get some stuff done today, so while he's gone, I thought I'd say hi and then also like just do some cleaning, and then he's coming back. I know, Floral. I know, Striker. I know. No, that's okay, Crash. I appreciate you. I also just really appreciate having this space, guys. Like, I know it's pretty heavy. You probably saw my go live notification and went, oh, fuck. But, like, I just, it's nice just to kind of talk to the community and not cry for, like, an hour. You know what I mean? Like, it's been pretty heavy, and I just miss her so much. But, like, yeah, I thought before Reese gets back, I can have a bit of a cuddle. So, a virtual cuddle with all of you. Because I think I'm going to be off for the next couple of days. So they did offer to push my next sponsor back on Tuesday, but I think I'm going to do it to like get me back into routine. But they were very sweet. And they also sent me these, my management, which is so kind as well. Hi, Pixie. I sprunted like a sprunt face. Are you at the cottage? I know. I'm only online for like an hour, I promise. My partner's ducked out to get some stuff, and I'm going to be off for the next couple of days, I think until the sponsor. So I thought, you know what makes me smile? My community. So I thought I'd pop on for a little bit, and then I'm going to vanish into the abyss again. Oh, thank you. Honestly, yeah, true, Floral. That's probably helping a ton. Trust me, like, I actually am proud of myself, and I do feel quite strong, but I'm also like crying every hour. You know what I mean? But I wanted to tell you the Quinn story because that made me laugh. It was a funny moment in the moment. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Like, I honestly wasn't planning on going live today, but when Reese said he was like, because I could have gone with him, but I wasn't ready, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just take this time to pop on and say hello, and then go offline for a few days. Thanks, Striker. I appreciate you. Thanks, Burrito. Thanks, Chili. I appreciate it. It is very regulating. Thanks, Tash. How was your trip? Is everything okay as well? Thanks, Liv. I appreciate it. I'm very comfy. Honestly, Reese is giving me a lot of like comfort as well. So yeah. Nothing special happening today on stream. Just a little check-in. Cause I wanted to. I just wanted some company. Thanks, Mel. Thank you, doll. You don't really know, like, what to expect, hey. I knew it'd be hard, but you really feel a lot. Yeah, Swifty. I've been updating everyone because she was a big part of everyone's life, and it's kind of like, it's kind of nice to go through photos as well. I don't know. It's kind of nice just to make little, like, collages and stuff. Oh, you want to hear something cute as well, guys? Wait, hold. Scooch, I'm so sorry to hear that, doll. Yeah. Yeah, it's normal. Again, I wasn't planning on going live today. Like, I was crying before stream and I was like, no, don't do it. And I was like, you know what? Like, you love them. It'd be nice just to say, even like reset it. He was like, if you want to pop on and say hi, I know how much they mean to you. Like, do it. But don't do it if you don't want to. I'm like, I know. Like, I don't feel forced at all. Thanks, guys. You're so cute. Thank you, Moxie. Okay, Tash. Yes, we will figure that out. Glad to hear that. Shut up, Farid. Yeah, Beck, for sure. Oh, Gib, that's so cute. Guys, I think I love my community. Hi, Chris. How are you? You know what I want to get? Lizzie suggested it and I googled it. There's one at Kmart too. It's like a weighted stuffy. And there's one that's a little cute goose. So I was thinking about getting that because I really did miss her lump in bed. I know that sounds crazy, but I always felt her either next to me or at my feet. Quinn, I love you, Quinn. Hi, Chilla. How are you, doll? I know. Always so lovely. Thank you again for all the resubs, and Kyle, that's incredibly kind. Thank you again. So this is a cute story. Now, I don't know if this is like... Just hear me out. I don't know if anyone else did this. But, yesterday, it got to a point, I know it was yesterday, like, from the morning to the afternoon, just seeing everything around the house wasn't nice. I don't know if that's normal or not, but anyway, like, it was, like, it's cute, it's hers, but I was like, I don't need this, like, I don't know. So Reese has a cat, so I asked him, like, do you want this food? Like, is there anything you want? Like, I gave him some stuff, and there's a lot of stuff he didn't want. And there was a beautiful scratcher she had that, honestly, she didn't use. She just scratched my couch. Didn't stop her. I just let her do whatever she wants. Anyway, and so a lot of people in the building always be like, hey, I'm popping stuff down in the basement. Grab it if you want. And so I popped, like, a bag of stuff. Nothing crazy, just, like... Honestly, I could have sold some stuff, but I was like, you know what? Sharing's caring. So I just put, like... There was some food. There was a cat cam. It wasn't that expensive. Like a cute love heart bowl. A cute little flower scratcher. Just whatever. And I let the people know in Facebook. I was like, look, I lost my kitty. If you would like this, please take it. Like, whatever. And someone took the scratcher. And it was so cute. And they commented. And they were like... sorry if you lost. We took the scratcher in hopes that your kitty would love that it's still being used. And I was like, so some kitties are using her scratcher in the building, which is really cute. I love that. Hi, Konami. How are you, doll? Not that, like, it felt, just speaking candidly, it felt mean. I know it's not. But it felt mean that I was, like, packing up all their stuff. Like, her litter is still there and there's still a dookie in there. I'm cleaning it after this. I haven't got into everything. But just a few things. I was like, oh, I would like a kitty, like another kitty to use that. You know? The last dookie was fresh just before she went. Quinn. Twitch clip that. But anyway. So I wanted to do that. And then I was like, okay, I will do the litter today. But Mimi's last dookie, guys. Dookie giveaway. But anyway, but yeah, my point is it was nice to kind of share that because the scratchy post was so cute and barely used. Like, it's so nice that someone can use it now. Can I have it? Mum, you do not want the dookie, but I'll give you this. The little fur thingy because it's really cute. 20 gifted for a dookie. Bronze. Shapey. Oh my god, I got resin. I can put the dookie in resin to keep forever. That's crazy. That's so funny. Hi, CD. I love you. That's so funny. Give me the dookie, man. You don't want the dookie, Mum. You don't want the dookie. Share the dookie. You can have it if you want. Glitter and little charms. Guys, you know what's so fucked up, though? But I love it. I am getting pushed all the cat merch on Instagram now. I'm getting pushed urns. I'm getting pushed cat jumpers. Cat portraits. bittersweet. It's bittersweet. I'm like, fuck's sake. But honestly, you might get me. You might get a sale. I think I might make my own urn actually. I want to paint something myself. Wait, do you want to see something cute? I don't know if this is, wait, I gotta show you something cute. Hold. Oh, my ass hurts. And before you say anything, I haven't worked out. I haven't done anything active. I don't know what's going on. My glutes. Maybe I was squatting when I was saying goodbye or something for too long. Cree, not the big Jolene. Thank you, Joel. Oh my god. Oh, Tash. Trauma restored in the ass. Actually, guys, look at this. I kind of want my first tattoo. Or do something with this. Look how small it is. Oh, beans. How cute. Ah, my god. So cute. She's Genie paw. Look how small her paw is. And I have small hands. So cute. And then we were at because we're lying on the couch after. Hi, Freedom. And he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I just want to be at home. Like, can we like walk around a mall or something? Like, I just felt like, who? Cute, Josh. I saw this quilt actually. It had cats on it. I was like, girl, I don't know. It was cute. Anyway, what was I saying? And we walked past and we saw this like print your photos in this vending machine. So I got some photos printed. Some bogos printed. Guys, look how precious she is. Pause the stream here if you don't want to see this photo of her. It might be heavy for some people, but she's really cute. So pause now if you don't want to see it. What a princess! Oh my god! So beautiful! Oh my god! Honestly, so peaceful. It was really beautiful. This one breaks my heart, but it's honestly the cutest. This is when, again, pause if you don't want to hear or see this. I totally understand. This was when she was, so if you don't know how it works, they basically get sedated first and they're very relaxed and they're just like happy, which is really cute because it was the first time I've heard her not struggle to breathe. She was just really relaxed and so serene. Oh, Mickey, I know the flowers are so nice. So they get sedated first and it's very sweet because you can just like be with them and they're looking at you and they're so happy and it's chill and it's beautiful, and then the other thing happens later. But this is when she was sedated and she just looked so cute and we were just staring at each other and it was so cute. We were just looking at each other and being romantic and it was so adorable. And she's so cute. So cute. I know, it was so cute. Ooh. It was really cute. She was a bit too cute, actually. A bit too cute. Her paw covering her bad eye. I know. I know. It was kind of, what's the word? Validating. It was validating when the, like, mobile nurse saw her and we were, like, talking about it. And she could hear her. I mean, Mum, you validated me too when you came over, but like, this was even more so because I was feeling so much guilt, obviously, as we all do. And the vet was like, you are doing the right thing. Even though I knew, but like, you know what I mean? It was nice to hear her be like, oh, poor thing, like, she's not doing well. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Because, you know, you feel so bad. I know, she's so cute, but struggling, but so cute. I know, I changed my profile picture. Screw it. I actually really love that photo of us anyway. And I was like, no. I'm gonna have to change my profile pic. Soz. I know, Freedom, yours, actually, I'm being so strong right now because when I'm, prior to this, I've been like, just be a little crying girl. But, what I was, I went, like, I put my OBS up to, and I obviously, like, see this. And I immediately was like, I can't see Mimi. Like, Mimi's always there in my lap. Like, I was like, but this is why it's good that I went live for a little bit, because I'm kind of breaking the ice before my sponsor, if that makes sense. Like, I know that sounds really bleak, but I'd rather come on for a few minutes to an hour to just give you the update, get used to, like, talking about it, and then have a break, and then come back with my sponsor, and it's not as heavy, if that makes sense. I wasn't planning on going live today, to be honest, but I was like, I think I might. Oh my god, CD. Ooh, I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. I'll have a look-see. I am Dole. Just letting it all out. Crying off and on, you know? Thanks, Ran. Thank you, guys. I mean, my management's amazing, and they said I can push the sponsor back, but in my head, I'm like, I would rather get routine back next week. Like, have this weekend to feel everything. I'm still gonna feel things next week, but like just kind of get into a slow routine. Otherwise I'm just gonna be like moping around the house. And Mimi loved when I streamed. It was always on my lap. So yeah, exactly. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Scooch. Real. It is, Cat. It's a very beautiful like hour spawn, so it's perfect. Thanks, Toasted. Thank you. Thanks, Ken. I miss you. Hi, Morgan. Emma. I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to respond to everyone. Honestly, I didn't... So much love from everyone. I really appreciate it. Exactly, Mum. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Toasted. Thanks, though. That's really cute. Yeah, it's an oldie but a goodie. I loved it. Hi, Morena. Yeah, Seed, exactly. So, let me see if I can find this photo. Hi, Joe. Thank you. How beautiful is that photo? Oh my god. She's so beautiful. Like, I just was in awe of how cute she is. So cute. Thanks, me. Reese has a girl cat called Kit Kat. Yeah, exactly, cat. Exactly. If I need a dip, I can dip. Grief is love. As painful as grief makes life worth living, it means you love so hard. Yeah. Exactly. Oh my god, Morgan. Imagine doing a Ouija board for your cat and it just goes to M-E-O-W. It's her. Yeah. Yeah. Freedom real. Hi, Cinnamon. Thank you, doll. She's here! Guys, I swear to God I heard her last night. Whatever. Treats. Should spell out, check the litter box. Left dookie. No, honestly, Mickey, thank you. I didn't know if I should share it, to be honest. And I tried to do a spoiler on the photo, but it didn't work on my phone, so I ran to my PC to make a spoiler, because I was like, fuck, I don't want to upset anyone. But I thought I would share it, because she looked so beautiful.
I think this is one of these horror masks. Let me try it on.
Check the shower, left a surprise. Granny!
Okay.
Hi, my love. Hello. I'm only here for an hour, doll, but hello, my love. I love you, babe. We can play some Overwatch later if you're on. How is your stream? How is Palworld? The payload. Yeah, Hobbit. That's so cute.
Thank you for the sub.
Put your
Put your
ass away, child.
child.
Inward Corgi just
Thank
subscribed.
you, Corgi. That's really sweet. Thank you. Esri, I'm feeling... I don't know what I'm feeling. Like, I'm feeling very grateful that I had 14 years. And you know what's crazy? Reese made a really good point. And he said it in the sweetest way, too, because he's the best. But he was like, because he was, guys, we were both bawling. Mia made a grown man cry. No, we were bawling together, you know? And, like, Reese kept saying that's a testament to how lovely Mimi is. Like, he's only known her 9 months. And we were just gutted. You know what I mean? Bye, Mum. I love you. Enjoy your weekend with Lorraine. I appreciate you. No, Ethan, I love that. Mimi loves your big naturals. Jess, I can say Jess if you like, doll. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Corgi, as well. Granny, I hope your stream was good. But we're lying in bed this morning, and I was just being sad. And it was like, I'm so glad you had 14 years. He's like, sorry to say this, but I feel bummed I only got 9 months. Like, I feel like I got a new cat, and now she's gone. I'm like, I know. Like, that's actually crazy. That's a good point. Like, I had 14 years. He only had 9 months. Ouch. Imagine finally getting to know Mimi. You're in love with each other. You know what I mean? I'm like, that sucks too. Like, it's so sad as well. You know? You know what, birds? I will say thank you. So loved. And I love that. You know? I know, Axel. What the hell? Hello? But, I honestly, every photo I've, like, because I've been sending people photos of her and Mimi, them and Mimi, and God, she was just so loved, so cute, you know. ECD, yes. I think about that a lot, actually. I know, M, yes, yes. No, thank you, doll. I appreciate you. Thank you. I really do like every message, guys, I'm reading. Thank you. I can see everything. If I don't address you, your name, I am still reading it. Sorry. I'm not in my groove, but I appreciate it so much. Yeah, Magusi, exactly. Yeah. 110%. So true. Hi, Zayla. How are you, doll? Gamer, you should get a kitty one day. That would be cute. Adopt a kitty. Thanks, Josh. Beck, unfortunately for you, it is tit time. Shh. Joking. I'm joking. No, so true, Freedom. Guys, the night before, was I live? No, I wasn't. No, I haven't told you this. The night before the appointment, she hasn't done this in so long. She was so restless to the point where she was climbing up and down Reese and I. We got no sleep. Neither did she. She hasn't slept for days. She was, I think, trying to seek some comfort, but she was so restless. Like the morning of the thing, she was just climbing up and down. She ended up sleeping right between us. But like, she was just, yeah. That gave me a little bit of comfort, because I was like, okay, this is not her at all. Like, she's a cuddly girl, but she's not restless. You know, like, this is, yeah. Oh, Wiki. I'm so sorry, my love. They're definitely playing together, for sure. I'm so sorry to hear that. Truly. I know a lot of people are going through the same thing right now, or have gone through the same thing. And I am so sorry, because I know how you feel. Yeah, Hannah. So that gave me like some, obviously it's shit, but it gave me some comfort that I was doing the right thing. And I know I was, I really do. But you know, when this, if you've gone through this, you know you're making the right decision, but it doesn't make it any easier, and you feel awful. Like, I felt so guilty, and I was like, maybe she doesn't need to go. And it's like, girl, she does. Like, she's not in a good way, babe. Like, you know, you just feel so bad. I had a dream about it last night too. I dreamt that I got a call from the vet, the person who did it, and she was like, she's still away. Should we do it again? And I was like, I woke up like, girl, what are you doing? Zoe, yes. Yeah. Hi, Sprout. Would have fainted 16 times. Real. Very weird dream. Yeah, cat. Weird as hell. No, I know. Yeah, I know it was the right thing. Yeah, what if she pulls through? Exactly. But you know what? A slightly funny thing was she's really small. She got the sedative. And thank you, Esri. Honestly, talking about it helps. So thank you for listening. I'll be crying as soon as I end the stream, you know. But what happened? Oh yeah. She's such a strong little lady that they had to give her more. Because as much as her leg was twitching and she was relaxed, it wasn't fully working. Oh my god, babe. Oh. Yeah. But she was so well behaved when they were giving her the first like sedative needle. Because it takes a bit of time to go into the back of her neck. She had numbing cream. She was so well behaved. Yeah, no, Oven, I totally get that. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Did you know Belle? Oh. I will, Mags. Thank you. I appreciate that. Not on my watch. Yeah, honestly. It's so funny. We were walking around the shops. And everything I'd touch, I'm like, oh, that's cute. It'd be like some cat thing. And Reese's like, do you want it? I'm like, thank you. But like, if I really want something, I will grab something. But I just want to touch things and say it's cute. There is this quilt that I want. It's very cute. It's like a normal quilt. And then there's like little 3D or felty cats around it. It's very cute. Don't let my kids. She said, don't skip on me, babe. Give me the good stuff. No, I will, Hillary. Thank you. Thanks for like... I know this is my platform. But I do understand that this is pretty heavy topic. So thanks for just letting me... You know. Just, yeah. I appreciate it. What was I saying? I forget. I don't know. My point is, I appreciate it, is my point. And it's so weird not having it on my lap. What the hell? Oh, that's cute, Court. I would love a little necklace. Thanks, cat. The quilt. Oh yeah, the quilt's cute. I like the quilt. Oh my god, Brandy! Yippee! I hope you have a great time with Mum. Thanks, Nex. That's cute. I'm away with my cat ears to sit. Oh my god, Beck. I would love that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, floral. Yeah. That's okay, CD. That's okay. I'm not here for long anyway. Honestly, I know this is naughty for me to pop on. But again, I think it's a smart thing for me to do because I have a sponsor on Tuesday. It's Friday for me. And I'm usually off weekends anyway, but I'll definitely be off this weekend. And I thought this would be nice to kind of break the ice, give you a little update. Because Mia was such a big part of the channel as well. So it makes me happy just to share some stuff. And then when I'm back for my sponsor, you know, at least we've been through some stuff. Yeah, Court. I think I'm going to get a weighted plushie. Hi, Inky. Yeah, I won't be on for long. Honestly, I just wanted to share some stuff because she's so loved, you know. Yeah, I forgot about this cough. Thanks, Inky. I appreciate you. Hi, Ace. Liz, yeah. It's a mocha, actually. Thank you, Court. Yeah, I am not... look. I am proud of myself. I definitely think the meds are making this easier. I'm also getting my period. So as much as I can sit here and be like, hee hee hee. I think I cried like 5 times before 10 a.m. this morning. So I cried. I was falling asleep last night. And I just started crying. We literally said, good night. And we turned off the lamp. And then I was like, woo. Because she wasn't at my feet. Yeah. I think, you know what's going to be the hardest bit? Guys, say like fucked up things in chat, so like penis. I think the hardest part, which again will be fine. Stop it. Pussy. Yep. Yep. Thank you guys. Cock and balls. Cock and balls. No, I know. I am getting my period. I think the men, I think the hardest part for me is the first night, because the funniest thing is next week for Reese is the busiest week for him. And I'm not talking like hee hee ha ha, like his calendar looks fucked up. So I won't see him during the week. And he said I could go over to his, which is great, but like I kind of want to still like stream where I can. I have to for KFC and stuff. But I'm scared for the first night without him and Mimi. But at the same time, milkers, Risty. You know what's so funny? I forgot I told you to say all that shit, and I was like, why is everyone saying come? I'm so out of it. Yeah, I'm nervous for like not feeling her in bed, not hearing her eating biscuits in the night. But I know like once I get through that night, I'll be fine, and I know it will be. But that's like because she always slept with me. I'm used to that. But I think I'm gonna get a weighted plushie. Yeah. Gobby. Rusty trombone. We're following orders. Cheers. Yeah, true. Like another like. Again, Reese going for a couple hours. Like, he still has to work when he comes back anyway in the lounge room. But it would be good to like maybe play Overwatch with Gran or do some laundry and just kind of do what I need to do. You know? Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, I want to get a weighted thingy. Yeah, I definitely will, Kat. Definitely. I'll go later tonight. Yeah. But I'm also grateful that this wasn't, well, something that really pisses me off is the fact the decline was so quick. I just can't believe it. Honestly, it's surreal. It doesn't feel real yet. Thank you, Kat. So fast, right? And you know what hurts as well? Or pisses me off? I'm doing this to make me laugh, but how I just thought she had a cold. And there was no way I would know any other thing because it just started with sneezes. And of course it was sneeze striker, yes. But no, it makes sense though with the sneezing. It grinds my gears. And actually her last couple days she was sneezing a lot again. So it was very irritating for her. But like, I just can't believe it wasn't a flu. That's crazy. She was normal and then went downhill. I know. Back to Winnipeg! No, it's crazy because when she was originally sick with the flu, yeah, she was sick, but she looked normal. Like seeing a photo of her from the start of May, different cat. Completely different cat. She's allergic to my bullshit. I know, Kat. I know. God, I can't believe it still. I literally have her paw print in front of me and I'm like, damn, what the hell? Come back. Anyway. Guys, if you weren't here for the first story, I gotta tell you this. Because it gives me a good giggle. But, the vet was very cute. She was like, alright, I'm gonna add to your candle collection. And I'm gonna light this candle on behalf of Mia's life. And she lit it, but it said Quinn. And I thought it was the brands. I didn't think anything of it. And then she went, sorry, wrong candle. And Reese and I were bawling. Like, bawling. And I'm just like, because I didn't want to make her feel bad about it. And Reese and I joked about it after on. I know, Damo, I know. But in my way, I'm like, in a way, I'm like, you know what? Quinn and Mia are gonna be together today. Quinn, good luck, buddy. You're gonna need it. No, but I was like, oh, poor Quinn. Poor Quinn. Twitch clip that. My cat passed so something at 6. Oh, no. Sleeping next to me perfectly fine. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Sass. That's even harder, I feel. That's hard to go through. I'm sorry to hear that. Quinn, Mia, and Charles, Mick, boy, all hanging out. Exactly right. Ezra, you just did. Because they cannot tell you they feel bad. I know. Kinda cute. I'm getting, let me see if I have any emails from them. I haven't gotten anything new, I don't think. They gave me a little, like, sheet to give me, like, I don't know, if I need some help or anything. But I think it takes 2 weeks. Hi, Mick. Twitch, get out of here. Imagine they're watching right now. Twitch, no, don't watch. Both at the same time, Floral. But anyway. Yeah, this might be my first tattoo. So cute, so little. I did Cam. Isn't she showing a lot of tit? I just don't know where I want it. A part of me was gonna do like behind my ear. I don't know where I'd want it. Like here. That'd be kind of cute because I feel like she always like cuddled me here, but I don't know. Maybe like right here. Beck, I did that before you commented that. Right on the nip. Do you want any erects visible, not hurdy? I mean, I'm up for anything. Collarbone, that's so cute. Yeah. Inner lip. Yeah. Which lip? On the inside of your eyelid. That thumbnail, Kenny. I said that as a joke, Joe, yesterday. So you can see it all the time. One paw on each cheek. You know what lip. That's cute, Freedom. Forearm is best for visible low pain. Or like outer upper arm. Oh, God. That's cute. Oh, that's so cute, Magoosey. Oh, that's cute. I'm crying regardless. Give it to me. Sully, my tata. I wish I could get it like extra small, size down, and just get it on my
Fartin
hands.
Martin 69 just
even though they
resubbed for
fade,
20 months.
but I know
So
that's gonna
much
hurt
love
anyway,
to you,
but it's
sweet
small.
queen less than 3.
Martin, thank you, doll. Happy 20. I appreciate you. That'd be cute. Do you reckon they can get this exact shape and size it down? Is that possible? Yeah. I just can't believe how small her paw. Look how small her paw is. She's just a little lady. Oh, also get the beans wrapped in her birthday month out. True. Martin, thank you so much. That's very lovely. Thank you. 2 apples tall. I know. Closer to the bone, you'll feel it more. True. The baby caught real. Thanks, Flower. Thank you, guys. That's cute. Ankle tattoos it says where. Oh, that's cute, Joe. I like these ideas. That's really cute. Hi, Lullaby. How are you, doll? I also want to do like something else. I was saying to Reese, I was like, your Christmas present last year, who would have thought, huh? Like, so cute. Little Pokemon Mimi card he made. He's like, shit, what am I going to get you this year? I'm like, I know, you can't top it. You get it somewhere where she made biscuits a lot. True. Yeah, cat, that's a good point. It was like a cat scratch. And I loved her. I loved feeling her, because she had lots of nails. She had very sharp nails, but I was used to her doing it. A Tukey tattoo on your lap. That's funny. I know. Crazy, huh? Freedom. Going so quick. Lots of deals. No, but she, I loved it. I'm pretty sure, is this? No. What a cute face. Anyway, I know this is how we cope, but I feel bad even joking about this. What do you mean, doll? Did you joke about something? Oh, you talk? Wait, I see it. No, you're fine. Guys, I'm literally live on Twitch the day after cracking jokes. No, you can joke about memes. She was a funny kitty. You're fine. Trust me. If I had this is me. Like, she was such a silly girl too. Guys, she would run into the wall. Let me see if I can find the video for you. She's a silly girl. She'd be happy that I'm smiling. Because I've been just crying a lot. I know, Sully. I know. The only reason why I'm live is my partner has stepped out for a few hours. And I have a sponsor in a couple days. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna break the ice. I'm gonna share some things. Have a bit of a giggle. And then go back to just everything else, you know? I honestly didn't think I'd be alive today, but it gave me some comfort since he's going to be gone for a few hours. So, yeah. Lukey. I know, Flower, I know. Sorry, yeah, Mimi showed whole. I know. I know. She wasn't eating, Inky. We tried though. She wasn't interested. But that's okay. See if I can show you this. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Wait. Hello? Okay. Sure. No, don't be poor. You're so sexy. Come on, Instagram. Girl, stop it. Oh my god, wait, that's what I'm going to do, by the way. I'm going to do a charity stream in the future when I can contribute to. And I'm going to find a nice charity for pets and we'll do a little thingy on behalf of Mimi. Wait, go back, go back. Am I going crazy? Why isn't this opening? Hello? Mimi, it's a fly.
5:30 tomorrow.
Mimi, it's a fly. That's what she would do. Mimi, oh, I want to see the run and jump she does. Wait.
5:30 tomorrow.
But when I tell you, she always did that shit. She didn't do it, I would say the last few years. But I reckon from like 1 year to 7 years old, she was so goofy. She would always be just running into shit. She loved it. She was just a goofy gal. So when people are like, oh, I don't want to make a joke, I'm like, no, make the joke. She was a goofy gal. You're halfway up the wall for how little she is. So funny to me. Anyway. The slide down. Wait, I want to see that again. Mimi, it's a fly.
5:30 tomorrow.
Oh my god, so funny. Yeah, she was honestly the silliest gal. She was a little freak. No, she was. Oh my god, yeah, I love them. So crazy. Were my nails here? I need to do them desperately, but I like this color. It's the French tip color. It's chill, you know? Ezri, oh not Ezri, Ezzy, thank you, Dome. Thank you. I want a French tip. Anyway, hopefully I don't make people feel uncomfortable by going live. I honestly didn't expect to be here. But you bring me a lot of comfort. And it's a good break from just sobbing. So, yeah. Comfort's crazy. Ooh, don't be nice to me. Liz, real. That's why I get them done. It's just because I bash them a lot. And they just break. Yeah, good break before spawn. You're right. Yeah. Hi, Ali. Thank you, doll. Comfort more like come and float. Am I right, ladies? Yep. Yep. I showed you my titties. Please respond. Please respond. No, it's so cute. No. There was this photo of my friend's son when he was young. And she was so patient with him. And let him just pat her. It was the cutest thing ever. Yeah. Literally, I don't think I'll have kids, but the only, like, I was a little bit sad for the potential of me having kids and Mimi not meeting them. But it's okay. Oh my, damn it. But it's alright, I can't be bothered having kids right now. She was my child. Belly! She did have a belly. So cute. Crazy song. Crazy song. Okay. I should have 15 kids. I know, Freedom, yeah. I mean, like, I already went through this. Again, this is, like, dark, but I felt like that with Pete. I was like, he wasn't here for my 30th. Fuck. You know? Or like, oh, he wasn't here for, like, maybe I get married in the future. He wasn't here. But then, you get over it and you're like, oh, well, they have the best seat in the house. You know? But you're allowed to feel all these feelings. Like, it's normal just to get it all out. One pussy pop song before stream ends? Hell yeah. Exactly. I do believe. Yeah. I do believe. I'm okay, Ari. Honestly, I'm just crying on the hour every hour, really. So my time's coming up soon, guys. So I will leave you soon. But I'm also like, it's so bittersweet, you know? Like, obviously I want her here, but I know she wasn't doing well. Oh, freelance. Thank you for saying that. That actually means a lot, and I'm really sorry to hear. Because I've been feeling bad that I've been so open about it, but hearing everyone's stories helps me as well. So I'm sorry to hear that. Big hugs. Thank you for lurking as well. It's very nice. Thanks, Striker. Yeah, cat. No. I will. That fly didn't stand a chance. We get TV to number 1. Nah, it's been good having Reese here. I'm with Reese, I think, until Monday. And then he's super busy at work. Like, genuinely so busy. But so am I. So I'll have, like, a few days without. Which will be good anyway to get into a routine. Yeah. No, it does, Zoe. Like, as much as I know it's pretty heavy, I just cry a lot. So it's nice to kind of just get used to talking about it. Well, what is the KFC deal today? Let's have a look. Good point. It is... Ooh, whoa, that's a good one. It's an $8 festive feed. You get a Zinger burger, chips, drink, 2 Wicked Wings, and chocolate mousse for $8. AUD, by the way. That's actually really good. Damn. Holy shit. Who's 2? In this economy? I'm not even spawn right now. I know, Damo, right? What the hell? I have Swifty, yes. That's 6 cents in USD. Thank you, Papa Stars. I appreciate you. Ooh, ice cream. Yeah. I've been eating. Don't you worry about that. I've been eating. My friend also was kind enough to send me a Uber Eats voucher, and I ate good last night. That was very nice of them. I honestly didn't expect the flowers I got sent. It was so beautiful. It's very touching how many of us have gone through the same thing, and we all understand. You don't really expect the weight of the grief of losing a pet. This is my first it's like my soul kitty that I've lost. Like, I actually can't believe the weight of it. Like, of course, I know that sounds stupid. Of course you love them, but you don't know, you don't realize how heavy it's gonna feel. Did I just stab? Did I actually? Hi, Nick. Thank you, doll. Alright, exactly. Exactly. The flowers are so pretty. Dab again. I can't believe I dabbed. I know, like this morning. Penis, 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 penis. Today I just felt like my heart just felt so heavy. Penis. Thanks, Esri. Balls. Balls. Yes, Martin. Oh my god, built brick by brick is so true. Pukaki. Oh no, not in the mouth, Striker. Gagging on it. If anyone's come in and gone, why are you here? This is exactly why. Me tearing up. And there's scrotum Bukaki in chat. Scrot. You always hear others explain it. Yeah, no, exactly, because like Sarah, I never ever looked at someone losing a pet and I was never like, I never, but I would watch someone lose a pet and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, that's awful, you know, because it is. But then when you lose a pet, you're like, oh, shit, that's real heavy. You don't realize the weight of it. Yeah, I would say Uber Eats and DoorDash are like the #1. Maybe Uber Eats over DoorDash? Maybe? In Sydney, I think. I like to think. We used to have Deliveroo, which was very cute, but they stopped doing it. Mason's like, what are we doing? Magoose? Oh my god, lullaby. So the holes they leave aren't the same, you know? Oh wait, sorry. No, cat, yes. What did Magoosey say? Oh wait, yeah, that was crazy. Chris, imagine if this is a Rickroll. You're fucked. Carla, I I've been joking in chat. This video helped me deal with the grief of losing my mum, and I think it could help with Mimi too. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. That's crazy. I can't, you know what's so funny? I knew you were going to do that, but I still clicked it. Because I was like, imagine if he is actually trying to give me insightful tips. But I also knew you'd do that. I knew you fucking would do that. Alright, alright. Alright. Yeah. You got me. Well, you didn't. But I'll give you like 40% got. Nothing brings the mood up like a good Rickroll. Exactly right. Quinn and Mimi. Forever. Anyway. Hi, Punk. I rearranged my room when Mimi was diagnosed because I was so shattered and needed to just distract myself. I just rearranged it. This is where my PC was. Here, I just flipped it. Yeah, Scrooge, exactly. Cherry. No, I honestly, like, I truly get that. And to be honest, there was times over the last few years that I honestly was like, oh, I can't imagine losing you. And it's like, Carla, what are you doing? You know? Don't do that. But, like, sometimes we have those thoughts because we love them so much. Is this a Rickroll in FYP? Guys, life is a highway. And I want you to remember that. Oh my god, core, exactly. No, Lullaby, you know what's funny? I didn't even say that. He was the one that messaged me going, now I really feel bad that I didn't visit Mimi. And I'm like, babe, it's okay. Like, I'm so sorry to hear that, Punk, as well. Yeah. Thanks, Mac. How are you going? Yeah, there is no right way to grieve. You're right. I honestly, like last week, I mean, next week I have to do a few things. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give myself the rest of the weekend, but I think it would help me a lot to go live and just talk about it. Because I think it's beautiful to talk about. It's hard, but I'm so glad we could give her the most peaceful exit, you know? Ezri, that's fucking crazy. Anytime I think about that alert, I think of the time where Twitch came in and gifted those 100 subs, and my alert's obviously so fucking awful that I was just embarrassed. Oh, Lexi. Yeah. Guys, I vape now. Yeah. That's why I felt for Reese too. I didn't even think of it like that. Like, obviously, he's holding my grief really well, but this was a cat that fell in love with him, and he fell in love with, and they were so bonded already. Imagine, like, that's shit for him too, in his own realm. You know, like, oh my god, Henry, how do you even see that? Henry's begging you. Oh my god. Chewie said hi, bye. Yeah. You know what's so funny, guys? She'd be hiding, right? And I would be lying on the floor trying to get her out. Well, I would be. And then Reese would come in the room and she would get out and start cuddling him. I'm like, you know what? Whatever works. Who am I? Who am I to stand in between love? So funny. I'm like, all right, I get it. But honestly, it was really cute. So I can't hate on that. It was so funny. Life is a highway, major pile-up disaster. Real. I could take you, man, if I want to. But lucky for you, I don't want to. Only met the first cat that lost twice before she got sick, and now 7 years later, he still talks about it. Yeah. I know, yeah, Axel, I clean your dookies, but no worries. You know? Hi, Nell. Thanks, Dole. I appreciate that. Life is a highway, piss in a jug. Real. W cats, W dookies. Chris! How often do you try that? Be honest. Let me check my emails just in case I get something. Nothing. Life is a highway. Fuck potholes. Fuck it. Yeah, what's going on in the Midwest, guys? Hi, Idon. Only with you and Luxie. Honestly, you still get me sometimes. But I'm on edge. Magoosey, good night, doll. Get to pissing and whipping. Yep. Life is a hype train. What the hell? Oh no, stay safe, everyone. What the hell? Ugh. Wait, where's the smoke coming from? Sorry, is that a silly question?
Put your ass
Haley!
away, child.
Hi, and
Haley
hi.
Force just subscribed.
Oh,
My
Canada.
Love Carl's Loom.
Oh.
Thank you for the sub.
So what's the parasite? I don't
Put
get
your
what's the
ass
parasite.
away,
Oh,
child.
is that thing someone was talking about the other day?
Rhetorical Bard just
The
subscribed.
parasite that's spreading?
Carl's Love.
Sorry, these are all very silly questions. I've seen nothing about it because my fucking feed is full of cat things. Oh. Oh, lettuce? Explosive diarrhea. Oh. Thank you, Hazy. Thank you, Rye. Thank you, Haley. How are you both? That's very nice. Thank you. That we can't track, but they cut fun because they cut. Of course. Oh God, I don't. Sorry, guys. Lettuce and berries. Girl. Oh my God. We are not having a Baja Blast. No, I'm sorry to hear that, guys. Hi, Cass. I'm only live for a squiz, but I thought I could break the ice before I have my sponsor in a few days to kind of get used to talking about it without breaking into a million pieces. Yeah. Cass, keep it a stack. Oh my God. Who's gonna had a fuck-ass earthquake? Screwworm? What's a screwworm? What the hell? Oh, Kaz. Poor thing. Thanks, Striker. Enjoy lunch as well. Thank you for being here. On a different continent. I know, but so many of you are on that continent. Oh my God. Hell? And here I am complaining about Quinn and Mimi. No, I'm joking. Thank you, Swifty. I will. You know what? After stream, I'm honestly going to spend as long as I need responding to everyone. Oh, God. A maggot? Now, what the hell? Yeah, true. Or just living life. True. I don't want to be insensitive. Thank you for telling me all this. I had no clue. Oh my God. Go knock on He'll be like, who the hell is this? That's so funny. I don't think I can knock. Can I knock on T-Pain? I could knock on Whiskies.
More yellow. More yellow, innit? More yellow, innit? Carla wants to collaborate.
Whiskers! Whiskers! Put your hand up in the chat! Put your hand up in the chat!
Oh my god, oh my god.
That's my boy, more yellow.
Carla.
More yellow. That's my boy, more yellow. Yep. More yellow. Yep. Yep. That's my go. Oh.
It's so loud. I couldn't get it to work. It was so loud, I felt bad. Go ahead, Carla, why is your mic ass? Like, I'm down to chop it up with you, but it sounds, didn't it sound ass? She's down under? Guys, how accurate is this color?
On your stream once a week, just to hear how bad
Not
it
at
sounds.
all. Okay. Don't remember?
That's so funny.
How about this? Carla, please, you can knock whenever.
Perfect.
I could also listen to Carla on any mic. Better, more desaturated.
Okay.
Guys, what happened to us, man? What happened to us?
All right, that was funny. I don't know why it's so bad, guys. It's hilarious. I wonder if it's streamed together. Wait, let me see. Stream together. I think it's the automatic mic that it's popping up. Let me see. I'll see what the automatic mic says. What is it on? No, it's on my chat mic. Why is it so trash? Oh, that's so weird. Start. What the hell? What is this? Guys, call in right now. Call in. Chris, what's up, man? Wait, how do I do it? Oh, yeah, here. How do I do it? How do I do it? Hello? How do I do it? How do I get... How do I get them to talk? Hey, Nick. Push views and call. Push viewers. How do I push viewers? How do I do it? Previewing. Push users. How do I push users? Right sign. Oh, push. Hey, Nick.
Hello?
How you going?
Where am I?
How you going? Welcome. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I like to talk about the current state of diarrhea in lettuce.
Oh, please tell me, because I'm confused.
No, I don't know about it. That's why I was asking you.
Well, I don't know, but thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. Long time listener, first time caller.
Spin that thing.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
man.
really bad actually. I was joking. I know about it. It's bad.
All right, well, don't eat it.
Nope, don't eat your lettuce, guys.
All
don't
right.
eat your vegetables.
All right, bye, man.
Eat meat. Okay, bye.
Bye. Go for me, Chris. Talk to me. Don't rickroll me, though. Chris, go for me. Chris, speak up.
Motherfucker, this shit was muted for me. This shit was muted on me.
Tell me something.
Anyways,
Tell me
I had
something.
a whole thing I was going on. If we want to get rid of this whole lettuce diarrhea thing, we need to take all the lettuce and put it in a huge like vat of milk and just let it sit for like a few days. And then after that, we need to let it dry. You're gonna get like some weird like lettuce milk like algae thing where it's gonna be like slimy, but it's fine. It actually kind of helps with the taste of stuff.
Yes.
My Venmo is Chris in Vegas, if anyone wants to know.
Chris, I'm dead. Go for me, Nick. Go for me,
Hello,
Nick.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Hey, yeah, I'd like to order a large margarita pizza, but some extra, a bit of everything actually.
Yeah, no
some
worries.
pepperoni.
Yep. Do you want a drink?
Mhm. Yeah, give me a vanilla Coke, please.
Yep, no worries. And how are you going to pay for this today?
Cheers, love. you gotta spot me, Carla. I need some help.
Fuck's sake, I just put my cat down.
Oh, Carla.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
I'm in the red.
Jesus Christ. Alright, pizza's on me, I guess.
All right, see you later, sweetie.
Thanks, babe.
Bye. Go for me, Mickey.
Oh my god. Hey, how are you, love?
I'm good, babe. How are you?
Good. This is so weird. I'm just working at home and here I am.
Oh my god, you're calling in the stage.
Yeah.
We should
oh
do
my
this
gosh,
more often.
I'm so nervous.
I
yeah,
know,
we should.
I agree. So how's work going?
PAX anyone?
Oh, PAX.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
True. 50% sold out Saturday tickets, guys.
I'm
day are
there.
you going?
Sold. I actually haven't bought my tickets yet. I've been sort of like been putting it off.
Fair, it's expensive. It's expensive.
Yeah.
I get
Because
it.
you're all weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll pop in and out. Why not?
Why not? Okay,
Yeah.
well maybe I'll see you there.
Okay, babe. Sounds good.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
babe. Bye. Go for me, Hobbit.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, it works. Okay, I got some ideas for Canada on how to put themselves out.
All right, go for it.
All right. So what you gotta do is y'all gotta get some buckets and put them on the back of some moose.
Mm-hmm.
Cause the moose need to be working for their dinner.
Yeah.
And have the moose go put the fires out.
Meese. Got you. Meese.
Canadian
buckets.
meese. Canadian gooses.
Yes. Okay.
Use the Canadian gooses.
Okay. Geese, meese, buckets.
Yes. For Canadian geese, they sure spend a lot of time down here in the U.S. and I've never seen any papers.
Real.
So
Real. Also,
know.
does my mic sound like ass like it does on Whiskey Stream?
no, your mic sounds great.
Really? Oh, I wonder why I sound so bad on his stream. That's funny.
At least over here.
All right. Well,
My
geese,
cat agrees. She
meese.
says hello.
Oh, hi.
Yes. Mises and geeses.
Yep.
And Canada should be all fine.
Stunning. Thank you so much for calling in.
You are welcome.
Okay. Bye, babe.
Bye.
Bye. Guys, we're really doing it. Go for me, pussy.
Hey guys, it's your local top boy here.
You're a bottom. You're a bottom.
You know,
Don't lie.
No, surely, guys. Okay, fine. Bottom, if you want to call me that. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
But, guys, I need to tell you a little situation that happened today.
Oh my god, what happened?
So I was getting Taco Bell, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I told them like, hey, no lettuce on my taco, please, because I'm not trying to get the shits.
Real.
I kid you not. The girl opened my Crunchwrap Supreme, took a big old dump on it, and then threw it in my car.
I love how much you're lying, and You know what's so funny? I
What?
can call you out now and I can hear your laugh because I'll call you out on stream and you'd be like, I'm just a tap. But now I can call you out with your voice and you'd be like, see?
No.
Mm.
Beck is saying that she was there.
I was
okay?
really, Beck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, I was scooped in, not pooping, thank God, because there was no lettuce. But you know,
Girl. All right, well, don't eat the
yeah.
lettuce.
Don't eat the lettuce, babes.
All right, babe.
Bye, babes.
Bye, babe. Ping, where'd you go? I saw you in here. Go for me, Verge.
This is extremely weird. Hello.
It is actually so funny because I never hear you guys. You know? So it's like a
Wow.
new thing for me.
Hey, so welcome to the show. This is the show.
Yep.
This is the show where we, as the Clunts,
Mhm.
all talk about how hot Ping is. Ping, get back in here, please.
Real. Actually, I agree with that.
If you want to mute, I can just talk with Ping. Like we can just chit chat.
Wait, let me get you both in here. Ping, you're hot as hell.
Wait a minute.
Hello.
Wait, hello. Wait
Hey,
just
sexy.
a goddamn minute. Hey, you're all
babe.
so hot. Oh my god.
Speak for yourself.
Speaking of sexy, I can't believe I'm in the call with Carla and Virgil. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna pull a titty out. Oh.
I agree. This is grief. This is the 11th stage of grief.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is the 13th gate of hell. This is purgatory. This is the end, okay? We are barely hanging on, but we will get through it.
That's so funny.
We'll get through it. We'll get through it.
So real.
We'll
So
totally
real.
get through it.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for
Okay.
having me.
Thank you. We'll do this again
Wait,
soon. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for accepting the call. Yes, Ping.
Yes.
What's the prize? What do we win?
What do you
Yeah.
want to win?
How
'Cause I
about
know
a
you
kiss
don't
on
want-
the forehead?
Okay, yeah, perfect.
I'll kiss Ping on the
Got it.
forehead.
Yeah, I'll.
You can kiss me somewhere else, Virgil. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Anyways,
fair enough, fair enough.
perfect. Mhm.
Which set of lips?
Love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Excellent, guys. Wow, this is what it's like. This is what dreams are made of. Go for me, Cass. Cassie, baby. Sweetie. I can't hear you. Is it me?
Hey, I'm Calvin Harris.
You're okay, Cass. I'll wait. Yeah, hey. Wanna be my lover. Idol! MD! Thank you, guys. Sorry, not me being distracted. When you click this little thing here, Cass, does it give you options to change your mic? Or is Twitch being twitchy? Don't say sorry. You're fine, babe. This is the first time I've done this. We're all learning.
Wait, I think we're here. Are we
Yes,
here?
Cass!
Okay, let me start my bit again. Okay. Thank you for calling the Reading and Writing Hotline. That's 1300-655-06. How can we help you today?
Oh my god!
That is also
baby.
Tofu saying hi.
Is it a baby?
That's Tofu getting really cranky.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down. Okay.
Oh.
Thank you for doing this. How fun! Hi, Clunts.
Oh my god, what did you eat today?
Oh, I literally just had blueberry chocolate banana bread, which was fucking
Did
bomb.
you make it?
Right? No.
Oh, okay. You
I
could've
went and
said
bought
yes.
an $11 fancy latte and banana bread.
Oh, stunning. Stunning.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
treat
jealous.
yourself.
Mm.
I also like to point out to you that I invented the show The Clunchula in the comments in
Oh.
chat, and I think we need to make that a thing.
You're right. I actually,
Let's
we
hold
should get a
each other with
topic.
each other.
Yes, we should get a topic every week and get call-ins.
Yes.
Yes. Love that. Mm.
Clunkcast! Homo said clunkcast. Also, me just calling someone homo. Mood.
Girl, this is crazy. All right, you enjoy Tofori. Thank you for calling
Thank
in.
you, I will.
Okay, babe.
Bye.
Boy.
Bye, Clunts.
Boy. Oh my god, Kyle's back. Hey, baby. Oh my god, you're quiet. Wait, let me see if I can turn you up. Guess volume. Try again. Try again. Ooh, you're still quiet. Let me turn you right up. Hold, let me turn my music off. Okay, wait. Talk again.
Again.
Okay, that's
Is it working?
It's better, yes. How are you?
Hey, long time listener, first time caller.
Oh my god.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm here to win the $1,000.
Oh my god. All right. You have to pick a number between 1 and 7.
Oh.
3. Oh, thank god you were wrong. It was 7.
Frick.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
I'll get him next time.
All right, baby. Well,
Miss you.
I miss you. We should game soon.
We absolutely should.
Okay. Well, say hi to Caroline for me.
I absolutely will.
Oh my god. Thanks, baby.
Bye.
Bye. True. Cool. Thank you for the raid. Wait, let's get you in here real quick. Where are you? Sorry, I didn't realize people would actually click in. Delilah, the one in New York City. Thank you so much, Ghoul. How was your stream? Tell me everything. How was your stream? What did you play?
DVD. I was trying to talk on you.
I'm so
I was
sorry. I wanted to, and
No.
then I didn't expect so many people in, and I was trying to get through the queue, and oh my god.
It was me, and I was like, wow, this is exactly what happened the other day.
Real.
But in reverse.
Real. Oh my god, it was. How was DVD?
It was not great. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I've
It's not
heard.
great,
I've
but
heard
that's
about
okay.
that. The anniversary still asks, or
No, it's over. It's over.
oh,
It's over.
awkward DVD
but
creator,
now
by the
I've-
way.
Yeah. Well, it's not you. It's the survivors.
Oh, real.
Yeah. Go.
Got you.
Go team.
Woo! All right, baby. Well, thank you for the raid.
I love you.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye. Coco, thank you so much for waiting. I took so long. But welcome to the station of Clunt, if you are here.
Can you hear me?
I can
Am I
hear
here?
you. Yeah.
I've never been on TV before.
Not the
Oh no.
Get it out.
Not me.
Get it out. Sometimes you just gotta get it out. How are you?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
alright. What did you eat today?
I ordered Wendy's DoorDash
Ooh.
because I'm lazy.
Oh my god, live your life.
Had a little chicken sandwich moment.
Ooh. Was it a chicken burger? Be honest.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm just checking. It was like a bun.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, it was a bun.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
chicken, bun,
Mhm.
pickles.
Pickles, really? That's all?
And I mean, and no lettuce, as a caller previously has stated before.
Wait, I didn't think about that. So wait, in fast food chains, there's no lettuce too. Really?
Well, I'm sure you could get lettuce. I don't know if we trust it right now.
Right, right. Oh, that's crazy. This is the first time I'm hearing about the anti-les.
Yeah. Oh, not the anti-les.
Well, I love lesbians, but lettuce, no. Lesbians, yes.
Lesbians for lettuce.
Guys, let's make shirts.
This is what I will be remembered for.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Eat no lettuce.
Eat no lettuce.
Eat a lesbian today. Bye. Hi, Bottom.
Hey, first time bottom, long time hater. How's it going?
What do you want, bitch?
So I was told that you needed some advice on some bottoming questions. Is that correct? That's what I got in my DMs, at least.
From who?
From Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. I got to call you out.
Melburger or Vegas?
Vegas, not Melburger.
You never know with that guy. $3G, go for me.
Oh, konnichiwa.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
I heard that you need some gay energy. Do you know what gay energy is, Carla?
Well, I mean, I feel it in the air tonight, babe, but you can explain.
So, it's like poppers, but all the time.
Like the party popper?
Sure. Yeah, party poppers, definitely that. That's
Oh.
exactly the kind of popper I was talking about.
No, please tell me what you were talking about.
So poppers, it's like hello, you know?
Does it go up your ass?
No. No. No.
Genuinely curious.
No.
Popper as in like a or is it something? Guys, I've never heard of this. Poppers for us as a juice box.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we call our juice boxes poppers.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, no. No.
Oh, it's
That's
a
different
drug.
thing. It's not like a drug, but like yeah. It's just like it's kind of like something that you smell and it gets you a little high.
No,
kind of
I know
like
exactly
weed,
what that
but
is.
like,
Yeah. Is it like
yeah.
Is it like metal? Is it like silver?
No.
Okay.
It's
Sorry
just
about.
like it's kind of like incense, but like incense that gets you high.
Oh, okay. Cause we have something similar here. Beck, do you know that thing? What do we call them? They're not poppers. Damn it. Fumes. Oh, nangs. I'm thinking about nangs. Do you have nangs over there?
No.
Nangs and poppers are so crazy. That's so different. That's crazy. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say?
That you're great and the cunts are great and y'all are probably some of the best people in the world.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Thank you, my little
no,
papa. Okay. Thank you for calling. Okay. Les.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, baby.
Carla, you're so beautiful. Thank
You're
you for
so
doing this.
beautiful.
I hope you're so well right now.
Baby. I mean, I didn't think this was a possible thing to do, but it's honestly given
No,
me
when I saw
life.
this, I was like, what is going on? Actually, I love you, Carla. I'm not even gonna lie. I just came here to confess my love to Henry. Like,
Fair.
of course I'm here for you, but like, Henry. No.
I get it.
I hope you're so well. I know it's been such a long time since I've been hanging out in chat, but I just love you all so much. The cunts are looking beautiful today. I've been seeing so many baddies.
Oh my god, they are
Like,
baddies for real.
the vibes are so good right now, and
Real.
I'm so just proud of everyone, you know?
Oh my
Like,
god, so true.
way to keep it rolling, guys. The
Guys.
cunts are doing so good.
Thank
Also,
you
I
so
just want to say that
much.
I got to leave work early and take a nap today, so I'm like on an all-time high.
Wait, you took a nap? How long?
Like a fat nap. Okay, so I would say that most would consider this a genuine sleep. I got home at like 4 p.m. and I slept until like 8:30.
Girl, that's REM.
Okay, like 4.5 hours. Like, I'm
Well,
just recharging.
Wait, do you hear
Recharging,
that?
you know?
Do you hear that?
Oh, say psych right now. Wait, I feel like, is this Jerry Springer? Wait, are we having a moment right now?
No, we're here to confess our love to each other.
Oh my gosh, wait, chat gets to witness this in real time.
Oh
Wait,
my
Carla,
God.
you could officiate. Carla, will you
Yeah,
officiate?
officiate our wedding.
Guys, okay.
I do.
I love how there's no vows. It's just yes.
It's just, I do. It's just a threat. It's not even a vow. It's just a threat.
I will
It's a
do.
threat.
I will find you in every
Oh my
life.
God.
Threat.
That's so true.
I hope this email finds you before I do.
Oh my god, wait, please find me. I need
Oh,
this.
that's hot.
Wait, I feel like we're verging on like no, never mind. I'm just gonna refrain.
Thank you for calling, guys.
Yes, thank
Oh
you
my
guys
God,
so much.
so thank you for having me. I
You're
love you,
all so
cunts.
beautiful.
Oh my god, don't kiss or do.
Carla.
Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh my
Mwah.
god. Hey, baby.
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh my god, I'm nervous. I've never done this
Oh
before.
my
I've never
god,
been on television before.
me too. This is like really cool.
This is like really. I didn't know this was a thing Twitch did.
Same.
And I'm kind of surprised you trust your community enough with this.
Honestly, yeah, me too. But at the same time, I really do. And I think if you didn't believe me, now you do.
I do believe you.
Yeah.
I think I'm a newer Clint, so hello, Clint.
Oh my god, cute.
Love you guys.
Love.
Would you like to hear a joke that you've never heard
Please.
before? I don't think you have.
Go for it.
It's completely original, have not stolen it from anyone ever before.
Is that sarcasm?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, go for it.
Okay. Stop me if you've heard this one.
Okay.
So, a termite walks into a bar.
Yeah.
He asks, "Is the bartender here?"
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. Do you not get it?
Wait.
Is the bartender here?
Oh, I get it.
And it's a
I
termite.
get it. Sorry, no, I do get it. Sorry, guys. I'm running on half a brain cell. No, that's good. I like it. Bartender, yes. I was like, where did he go? No, I actually love that, and I will be repeating that. But no,
I think
I'm so sorry. That was really good.
you should tell that to Whiskey. He's never heard it before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's never heard it, I swear.
Wait, I should call his stream and do it again.
You should. He would eat that up.
No, he will. The bar's tender, I think. Oh my god. Okay. Thank you so much for your service, and welcome to the
Thank you so much.
Clunts. Thank you.
Oh my god, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my god, do it live. Wait, guys. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I gotta call him. I'm gonna call him. Wait. Oh shit. Where's my stuff? I've never done this before. I feel hold. How do I get my stuff back? Whiskey. I'm gonna call.
Let's cross out the other corner now.
See if he answers on. I'm gonna butcher this
Are
joke.
they within 2 spaces?
I'm gonna butcher the joke, but I'm gonna do it.
Are they within 2 spaces of me?
He's
No,
really
I am not
busy.
within 2
Feed the
spaces of
Pit
you.
looks fun. I'm gonna FaceTime him.
Now that you've narrowed down so much of the map, let's try this. This is a finder card. Unlike other cards, which check an entire area, this will uncover exactly where they are, as long as they're within.
So annoying. He's so locked in. There's no way. I know, he's actually playing a game. And here I am. He doesn't want to answer. I'm so annoying. Hey, babe.
What's up?
I just want to tell you a joke.
What's up? What's the joke?
So a termite walks into a bar.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. And he says something bartender. Is this bartender? Is the bartender?
Is the bartender here?
Yeah. Is the bartender here? Yeah.
And then what?
That's it.
That's really good.
Thank you.
That was really good.
Thank you for pausing your game. I'm so sorry. You're so locked in and I'm being annoying and you're just like, girl.
No, that's my favorite joke.
Really? Is it your favorite joke? I didn't know that.
You're lying.
What? How
you
am I
look
lying?
you look fantastic today.
I don't, but thank you so much. You look scrumptious
What?
as always.
You always look fantastic.
You
Okay,
always
I
look
gotta
delicious. No! Okay, bye. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Not us gassing each other up for like 5 seconds.
And just like that, through a few simple questions.
Okay, wait. Let's go back to my TV show. Go for me, Ren.
Oh my god, hi.
Hi, baby.
I decided I want to join because it sounded like we were doing shotgun weddings earlier.
Yes, did you want to marry someone?
I would love to marry someone. I can't see chat right now though, but
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's somebody there for
Wait,
me.
I know just the person.
Uh-oh.
Leah, it's time. Talk to me, Leah. Apparently, unmute because you're so hot. Oh, hey. Hey, babe.
Bitch, why the fuck isn't this working?
It is.
Well,
Oh my god, it is? Holy shit. Hello. How
Hey,
are we
babe.
doing?
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Guys, I just got home from seeing the Odyssey and I left my seat nice and wet because
Ooh.
Charlize,
Oh, was it good?
they gotta clean that shit up.
Really?
It was fine, but you know, my
Oh.
my mommy Charlize was in there, so I was like, you know, the seat's gonna be messy.
Another mommy in chat.
Oh my gosh, it's a full party.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Oh my god.
Look at this. It's almost like an orgy, one would say.
Wait, now it's an orgy.
Carla,
yeah.
you know, I was thinking about you fondly earlier and I started to tear up and I was remembering that time that I shoved a nuke up my pussy and you pulled it out
I
for me.
pulled
Do
it
you remember
out.
that?
Yes, and then I put it
That
in
was
my
so
pussy.
meaningful.
I know.
Oh, the memories, you guys.
Carla, I also just remembered how you like saved my life when I was drowning in the middle of the ocean. And you came on the Titanic and saved me and saved everyone.
I literally came
and that was
on the Titanic.
incredible.
You
Oh
came
my
3
God.
times, if I remember.
Yes, and then
It was pretty impressive.
I wanted to thank Jess for letting me borrow your Lamborghini because my sick grandma loved to drive that Lambo. Why are we
What
laughing?
color was the Lambo?
Who's wheezing? That is so funny.
It's me. It's me.
Oh my god.
It was a red Lambo.
I love a wheeze laugh. Oh, that sounds phenomenal.
You're phenomenal.
You came in the Lambo too?
I came in the Lambo and grandma said,
Yeah.
Can you stop
Well, you
doing
know, it's
that?"
hard not to with the vibrations, but
So true. So true.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was really nice.
Well, good talk.
Good talk, everyone. Same
Are
time
we,
next
are we
week.
just are we just yapping? Or is there like are we asking advice questions?
You know what's
Is
funny?
there a trivia question?
Oh, here's the thing. I didn't know I could do this, so I will prepare something next time. But this is just a
Oh my
bit of
God,
a
Slay.
yap. Yeah.
I do have an idea for you if you'll ponder it.
Give it to me.
You could follow in Granny's footsteps
Mhm.
when she was playing GTA roleplay and she was playing a medium, you know? And you could connect with your psychic powers.
Oh.
And you could tell us
Really?
what's going on, you know? I think you're really connected like that. I think that could work.
Someone just
Carla
moan?
could read us.
Or she could just read. We could just open the library and she could drag us and read us.
Oh my god, a drag. No, but you know what's so bad about that?
Yes.
I'll be like, yeah, roast, drag, and then I'll be like, oh, you're so cute. Oh.
Someone said Kahoot, and that would actually slap.
Wait, what's Kahoot?
Oh, please do Kahoot.
I don't know what that is either. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like Jeopardy, except they tried to make it more fun for kids in elementary school.
Wait, what about Clunt Jeopardy and I have trivia questions about
Oh my fucking god, I
the
love that.
community and games we've played and stuff. Ooh.
I'd be really bad at that, but it would be so much fun.
No, I would do like new age stuff.
Okay.
I would do both.
New age.
There's so many opportunities.
Are
for
any of us new age?
Yes. All right.
Hop in for this.
Can you guys hear me?
Say, I hope you're doing well. Love you, doll.
Thank you. Until next week.
Yeah. Until next time.
Group moan.
Thank you.
Oh, go for me, Pudge. sweetie. Pudgy. Pudgy baby. And that was Pudge. Well, well, well. Look what the bottom dragged in.
Hey, yeah, I'm honestly trying to find a relationship. Anyone in chat want to get married or something?
Do we have a top in chat?
It doesn't have to be a top. Okay.
Okay, bottom,
It
but
can be
how's that gonna
anyone.
work?
Okay, so this is actually what happens when two bottoms are together.
Mm-hmm.
We touch holes and a baby is born.
Oh, we touch holes? Can I touch hole?
I mean, yeah, babe, but I'm in Ohio. That's a little bit of a distance.
Ohio, more like Obio. Go for me, Les.
I'm actually like choking on how fucking funny this is. That group moan really sent me. I'm not gonna lie. I had to like collect myself before I called back in.
I think we needed that biblically.
Okay, wait. Serious question. Like serious question. I admit, I confess, I just started playing DBD.
Really?
Everyone in chat, like Carla, give your 5-second advice, like for a beginner. What's the vibe?
Well, what do you want to know?
I just want to know like how to keep it enjoyable for myself. Like, should I try a bunch of things? Should I like stick to one character? Like, what's
Ooh.
the vibe?
What are you struggling with the most? Gens, chases, or just the whole vibe?
I think balance, honestly, balance. Like finding myself useful on gens, but also being a useful like a chase. Like I want to like
Real.
be a good teammate, you know?
Real. Well, flashback. Back in my day, when I was learning DBD, everyone is going to be bad, but that's the thrill of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was also playing some killer as well because I feel like when you play killer, you can watch them make mistakes and be like, "Oh, that's what I
It's
look
it's like reverse psychology. You figure out how to do it from the killer's POV, and then you're like, oh, I know how to do it. I played like 5 games and I won one of them.
Oh, okay. It's better
And
than
then
me.
I pissed myself because Ghoul was really scary.
Ghoul is scary.
And I was like,
Well,
why are those tentacles coming at me like that? I feel like
know.
that's really unnecessary.
Real. Well, do you have Kate unlocked?
I don't know. No, I think
blonde.
like my friend told me to play Bill or Claudia.
Yeah, Claude's fun.
Is that
No, she's
like
fun.
just fun beginners?
I would say Fung and Kate as well because Kate has windows of opportunity, so you can see where the vaults are to learn where to like loop. And then Fung
Am
has
I killing
technician.
the vibe, by the way? Are we
No,
like not? Are we not
babe. I put my
like,
cat
I feel
down
like this is
yesterday.
work talk.
This is
No, I know,
you
and I'm
can't.
like, I'm happy you're having a good time. Like,
no,
I'm here with
you are not
right
putting
now.
the vibe down. I'm putting the vibe down. I went live and people were like, "Ugh." Like it's fine.
No, we all handle things in different way, and I think
sorry,
you've got a
guys.
really great community, and
Thank
we're just
you.
happy to all be experiencing whatever the fuck this is.
No.
Honestly, that group moan was
That was
iconic.
I know, and
shout out to those baddies.
No, real. I'll be real for a second, guys. For a split 10 minutes, I've actually forgotten about grief. So look at us. We're doing it. We're really.
This is
what I needed.
The whole point. This is why this community exists, guys.
This is why life.
Take advantage of it.
This is the meaning of life.
This is why we're calling into Carla like she's a newspaper ad. You're like those you know those like old like newspaper columns where it's like somebody's aunt giving advice.
I do. Wait, I would love to do this.
That's who
for
you
real.
are right now.
I would love.
Like weekly advice with Carla. Call in with your questions and she'll answer them on a weekly basis.
It could be
guys.
anonymous too if you wanted, guys. We could do this.
Yes.
More tips soon. And you know what? We should do a DBD stream where all new players join me.
No, I think I just, my friend also recommended like get a solid group of like 4 and you'll have more fun.
No, honestly.
So, and if there's any cunts in chat that wanna like, let a newbie in, like, hit me up, guys, on the
Real.
Discord.
Real.
You can't see me winking right now and tucking my hair behind my ear, but I'm doing that.
I feel it. Thank you so much for calling in again.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I
love
hope
you.
you have a beautiful evening. If I don't talk to you again, if I come up with something more interesting to ask you, but
Yum.
you guys are the best.
All right, Pookie.
I love you,
Bye.
Carla.
I love you, Ma'am. Bye. Go for me, Ghoulie.
Hi, I have a song to sing for you.
I'm here.
Every night in my dreams,
Yes.
I see you.
Yes.
I feel you. That is how I know you go on. Do you feel like a rat in the water?
I do.
Far across the distance. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was amazing. I needed that. Oh, they just left. That was amazing. 3G, yes.
Urgh.
Oi.
So, oh my god, I just lost my train of thought. My Eddie's hitting.
That's okay.
Mecca, thoughts?
Ooh, I don't know how much longer I'll be on, but I will tell you this. Next
No, not
stream-
like playing the game, just like in general.
Oh, thank God. Love Mecca.
I have a request.
Yes.
Can you just call me a pussy?
Hey, pussy.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right. Puffin, Henry, thank you guys. Sorry, I'm missing so many things. Thank you guys.
Puffin just resubbed for 18 months.
I'll take it. Oh, hello there, dear. Lovely jubbly. Top of the morning to you. Amy.
Put your ass away, child.
Phoenix just subscribed.
Wait, is it not working?
No, it
Oh
is
my
now.
God.
It is now.
Oh, it is. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I have a request.
Yes.
Can we could you possibly get Kyle in here, please?
Yes. Sending Kyle.
You have to marry us.
Okay. Kyle, Amy.
Kyle, my beloved.
Amy, my sweet, sweet lesbian.
French Fry just subscribed.
Do
This
you,
shit is
lesbian,
bananas.
take gay bottom forever and ever?
Yes.
And do you, gay bottom, take lesbian to be together forever?
More than a Taylor Swift song, babe.
Oh, in the
Yeah,
middle
no,
of the
you
night,
haven't
in my dreams, you can see the things we do. Amazing. Go for me, Hobbit.
Hi, I'm back again.
Hey, babe.
I realized I didn't say hi to chat earlier. Hi, Clance. I hope you're all doing well.
My God.
It's so fun being here. And thank you for doing this.
Of
I apologize
course.
for panicking and suddenly launching into a random
No, I loved every second of it. What do you mean?
shit about geeses and meeses. Oh my
I love
god.
the geese and me's. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm silly and an awkward person, so that's the first thing that my mind went to.
Babe, you watch me. What do you mean? Come on.
I also want to say congratulations on everyone for their weddings.
I know, it's been a
love
beautiful
weddings.
day.
Oh, it's so wonderful bringing people together. We love
know.
love.
I love love. It's so true.
Yes.
My God.
Talk about the meese.
Okay.
We love meeses.
Geese and meese.
Yes.
Okay, bye,
And also,
baby.
if I can get sappy for
Yes,
1 second,
yes,
I want to
yes,
say
yes.
thank you for sharing Miss Mimi with us for all those years.
Memers. Thank you. She's so
Yes.
cute.
Yes, thank you so much. This is so fun.
I know. Thank you.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
Oh. What noise was that? Wait, did you hear that little? That was funny. What was that noise doing? Sorry. Australian soul and guys. Are you girt today?
Am I what?
Are you girt today?
Girt
by
no,
sea?
well, actually, yes, actually, I did have an issue, Carla, that I wanted to chat to you about, if you don't mind.
Oh, love this. What is it?
Yeah, so I just went down to Woolies because I had a bit of a shop I needed to do. I needed to get some necessities, and my God, I get there and they tell me nationwide outage of connies, and they told me you bought them all.
How dare you?
What is a girl supposed to do, Carla?
I believed you. I can't help it that I get my rocks off. Not this week, 'cause I'm mourning my cat and it's weird, but I can't help it on previous weeks that I like to get down.
What are the rest of us supposed to do? What are we supposed to do?
Well, I didn't know you wanted to get your rocks off.
I'm always wanting to get my rocks off, Carla.
Well, now I know,
Always.
and I will send you guys in the mail some branded Clunt Connies.
Hell yeah. Appreciate it, Queen.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Love ya.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Professor Beef, more like Professor Cute.
Oh, you don't mean that.
I mean it.
Anyways, I was looking for someone. If you could help me out real quick.
Someone for what?
So I was looking for an Amanda, last name Hug and Kiss.
Amanda Hug and Kiss? That's me. I can be whatever you want me to be.
Can you be a sweetheart?
Already am.
Oh, you got me.
I got you. I got you.
No, this is so nice though. Like I've been, gosh, I don't even know how long I've been. Like, you know, how long you've tricked me into following you. But
Wait, actually, how long has it been? Let me check. I can check right now.
Yeah.
Is this crazy?
Check.
I will. I'm gonna say 3 years. Oh my god, I am way off. Do you want to guess?
How long was it? I was gonna say like 4 years, but no, oh my god, it's been almost 5 years.
It's 5 years next month.
Oh my god.
I know.
But yeah, I wasn't expecting to be able to talk to like the Carla. I'm like,
Babe.
what's the word? Like I'm like starstruck.
No, I'm starstruck talking to the Clunts. What are you talking about?
You know what? Let's just be starstruck together.
Okay, we
alright?
can be stars. I'm down.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I also want to say, you know, just like everyone else, you know, we all, you know, love Mimi and we all love you too, and just can't imagine, you know, what do you think we'd be doing if you weren't here for like this whole like what,
Serenus, can I
5,
just
6, 7, 8
subscribe?
years?
I know, that's weird, isn't
Like-
it, when you think of it like that? Because I don't know, quite frankly. Like, this is my identity now, you know?
Yeah, like imagine you would just, you know, some, you know, Australian like girl doing the, you know, the wink and the tongue pose.
Not the wink
But
and
like
the tongue.
but like, yeah, you were just like out there in the world, not, you know, having any clunts. Can you imagine that?
No, I don't want to imagine that. That sounds like a nightmare.
Oh my god. But no, that's all I can really say. Thank you
Well,
for this opportunity.
No,
And
I
you know what?
appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you
No,
more.
you're my whole heart.
You know, you're my whole brain.
You're my whole pussy. Serena, thank you so much for 39 and DJ for 47 and Phoenix for 50. What the hell? Thank you so much, guys. My love, my light. Oh, Liz is back. Hey.
Okay, wow. Totally unique experience. Never talked to you before. Okay, I've got 3 really quick things for you, Carla,
Okay,
and
what is it?
chat.
What is it? What is it?
First thing is a super fun story for you guys.
Okay.
My brother proposed to his girlfriend yesterday.
Cute.
Really exciting, really awesome. He
Yes.
got down on one knee and stepped on her foot. So like the picture is just her like wincing in pain.
No, you're
and
joking.
His big ass foot stepping on.
No, you're
'cause she's
joking.
okay. Mind you, she's 4'11". I don't know what that is in centimeters.
No,
Sorry
that's
for
shorter than
international
me.
baddies.
No.
I
Oh my
live in
god.
yeah. But he's like 6'2", so like you can imagine he's got a lot of weight putting on her tiny foot.
Oh, he would feel awful about. He's
so-
gonna think of that for
You
the
know
rest of
what?
his life.
It's okay.
Roast
It's
girl
okay.
has
They get
lifted
the
us
they
up
get
to
the rest of their
property.
lives to think about that.
True, that's
Okay,
funny.
moving quickly to topic 2. I'm
Okay.
rushing through this,
Okay,
guys. I'm
okay,
not
okay.
trying to take up
No,
anyone
you're
else's
fine.
time.
You're fine.
Second thing, my vocal stem that I want to share with you and chat. If you haven't seen this movie, everyone go watch it right now. The Muppets Christmas Carol. Have you ever seen this, Carla?
No, oh, not fully. but I think I know what
Okay.
you're talking about. Go on.
So Muppets Christmas Carol, in the beginning, they're singing their little intro song, and then there's these like little tiny mice, and they're singing, and they go, they're talking about being in, dire straits. They don't have food, they don't have money, and these little tiny mice go, "No cheeses for us Mises." Chat knows it. Look at them, they're throwing it in. Thank you,
How do they
Hobbit.
say it exactly? Like
No,
do the
no
cadence.
cheeses for us Mises.
No cheese. Oh God. Okay. Okay.
So just from now on, just think no cheeses for us Mises.
Okay,
They
yeah, I
could,
love that.
you could be a Mies with no cheese. I'm just
No,
saying.
I agree.
Okay,
Yes,
and then
beautiful.
last thing, Carla, this is like the most important one.
Okay.
Did you get that CD?
CD's nuts.
No, fuck! Get me out of here,
Girl, think before you speak. That's so funny. I'm dead. Pudgy.
Oh, hey, can you actually hear me now?
I can, baby.
Okay, cool. I've been dying to get a hold of you. Have you ever heard of the James Webb Telescope?
No.
Oh. So, like, technically, scientists can see back in time because of how fast and how light travels. I just needed you to know that.
Okay.
Did you get the notes for the science homework?
No.
Fuck.
What is this?
Oh my god. Dude, my professor's gonna kill me. I need that.
What? What is this?
Dude, please? Can you, like, call Jared to get the science notes then? Please?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so, like, but can you call me back?
Yes, I will.
Like, I need to hear it in your voice,
Pudge,
specifically.
what is this? I'll do whatever you want, but what is this?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, just call him and then get
Pudge!
the notes for the science homework, and then, yeah.
Pudge! What are the notes?
That's what I'm asking you.
Girl, how do I get them? I can hear your wheeze. I can hear your wheeze, bitch.
I think it's in a Minecraft lab somewhere. I don't know.
Where
I
did
didn't
Leah?
think this far.
Leah, where's the homework?
Why, Henry? I don't know what the fuck is happening. Why are you adding me?
Where's the homework?
Is it up your butt and around the corner? Is that what we're doing? Or is it a throwback?
No. You know how, like, those people built that Minecraft server with, like, the Library of Alexandria, right? It's like that, but it's a Minecraft cave, and Jared is in there, and I need the answers to the science
Who's
homework.
Jared?
Who's
Jared?
Doyle is gonna fucking kill
Hey guys, it's Jared.
I'm 19. I never fucking learned how to read. Is that
I
it?
have the science notes. I need everyone to be silent though.
Okay, thank you.
I'm popping them down, alright?
Beautiful. This is the skin of a killer bell.
Kid soap.
I'm a killer.
I don't believe that.
It's because you believe a lie. It's camouflage.
Okay, but, like, can you show your
I'm
work?
the world's most dangerous.
Hold on, give me a second.
What's
As if you could fight me off. I'm designed to kill.
Jared?
Yeah, so it's like really simple like that.
I'm scared,
Party.
you guys. I'm scared. What's happening?
Was that what you were talking about, Pudge?
Yeah, no, that's exactly. Can you just show me, like, can you, like, explain to me number 7 though?
Oh, I didn't get that
Fuck
far.
is happening?
Shit.
Am I
Alright.
Wait, but do you have the English homework?
Yeah, no, no.
Carla, are we
Do you?
okay?
Leah, I don't know, man. I don't know either, but I'm so glad we're doing our homework because I did not know about
I'm
that until today.
traumatized. I don't want to go back to school. I'll fucking kill myself in game.
No, don't do
You know
that.
who went back to
In-game,
school?
in-game.
Edward Cullen. Because he
I-
was 17 for over 100
And
years.
I was forced to watch Twilight against my will by my terrible ex-girlfriend a few years ago, and now I hate it. So I don't know what's happening.
Oh, I just smoked. That's all.
Is anyone
Oh.
supposed to like Twilight?
Hey,
You know.
I was around when the first book came out. Okay,
Straight
like
girls, I suppose.
old enough to read it. Like I was alive.
I'm too lesbian.
I was alive too.
Cool.
I read it. I can read.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, hi. Just wanted to say hi. Anyway, I'm gonna peace out. Toodles.
I love that Carla's just leaving.
Oh, is this our stream?
Can I? What if I turn my?
Wait, I can't leave.
Oh, she's playing baseball. Oh, she's from
Oh,
Twilight.
she's the girl with the bob. She's running. She's running. She's going.
Alice.
Where's she going?
Oh,
she's back.
Wait, hold on.
You know?
Oh, was that
Get it.
thunder?
Get it. Get it. Thunder from down under. Yes, queen. I'm throwing dollar bills at the stage, and by the stage I mean my phone.
Wait, there's an ad. Hold on.
That's so funny that we're in an ad.
Deodorant. Girl, that was wonderful. That was so hot and
Quick, clip that.
sexy. Chat, she can't even hear us. Chat, I could say
No,
anything
you're too sexy
right
for
now.
baseball. Don't.
No, don't. You're so sexy.
No, don't. You're so sexy.
It was very
Guys.
Guys, DMCA.
Protect queer art. Protect queer art. Protect
DMCA.
queer. Oh! Guys, that was so special. That was so special, wasn't it? I don't even know what to say. That was interesting. I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that. That's really fun. All I could say is wow. I didn't know you could do that. Y'all are wild. That's hilarious. Honestly, that'd be fun to do a weekly thing. I did get a USB-C cord to tell a friend to connect my piece. That's hilarious. What was that? Viewer call-ins, apparently. I need to do the English homework. We could make it, you know what would be cool? Because I want to do this for a while. But we could do the Am I the Asshole? And you can all weigh in. We roleplay RBT. Oh my god. That was so fun. I actually didn't feel like pure shit for like 15 minutes. Wow. Huge. Chris. That was absolutely ridiculous. But so much fun. So much fun. Thank you, Ghoul, for gifting that sub as well. Sorry. And all the resubs during that. Hi, Young. That was so funny. Guys, you can't say, I hope I didn't weird you out when you follow me. You're fine. The only time someone weirds me out is if they're genuinely disrespectful. Then that's weird. No one else, like, nothing else is weird. Carla's confessional. I would love to do something like that. I didn't even know that was a thing. That was so stupid. I love that. Exactly, Coco. Confessional! That's good! God, you're good at that, Cass. That's like your 5th suggestion today. Thank you guys for all your love towards Mimi as well. Very sweet. Thank you.
Chili scrambled eggs just
But
subscribed.
I can
Popping
not
to
show
say,
names
"I
on
love you
screen.
and I'm so sorry to hear about beautiful
Thank
Mimi.
you, Chili.
May she live on forever. Carl's love. Carl's love.
Yeah. I can't believe she's not on my lap. But my blankie smelt like her when I was on the couch yesterday, which was nice. Oh, her voice changer is so funny. I love that. Yeah. And I'm just glad that we got to enjoy Mimi as a community too, you know? That's very cute. Also, Cammy, how are you, doll? God, it's hot. I shouldn't have done that baseball scene. Anyway. I should probably start cleaning out that litter tray. The last dookie. It was worth it. So fun. No, true, Cass. Honestly. Fair. That was the time of my life. Give mum her duke. Cardio. The last dookie is a crazy concept. I know. Swifty. True. Best day ever. You should lose it. Wait, Beef. I should use a litter tray. That's actually crazy. Frame it. Is my camera slaying? That's cool. A ceremonial piss. No, but then I have to clean that up. Imagine I did it right, and then Reese came back over, and I was like, "Babe, I had an extra thing. Can you clean it?" No, I'm kidding. I would be. You couldn't waterboard me to say that. 3G, you're amazing. Oh, that was so fun. An accident that I did on purpose. Oh, true. Also, Ping, I love you. Yeah, he would. He would. Go piss, girl. I think you're too sad to clean it, so you have to clean your piss. That's crazy. Reese will probably think you need to be sent to the loony bin. Honestly, we always joke about it. We would never do it. We always make the joke about what we would do if one of us discovered a human dookie in the litter box. That was a gay time. No, Liz, that's so funny. Because I usually get got with those jokes. So it was actually a good try. But I just love getting people back, you know? Little crystals. That's a regular combo. We have fun here. We have fun here. The mystery night pooper strikes again. Those are the real combos. Exactly. The poo jogger. To be a fly on the wall. He has so much work to do today. He's literally doing some work and then driving back to mine to continue doing work because he's so busy next week. It's so lucky he wasn't as busy as he was next week this week because he was able to have a day off. But next week he is like, because he's corporate, so he has like back-to-back meetings. Crazy. He's a graphic designer in marketing. So he still gets to create some stuff. But that was not planned, Virgil. And I think needed. He's about 45 to 50 minutes from me. I need his job if that's okay. Of course. Yeah, he gets to be a little bit creative, which is good because he's a creative person. That's cool, Cammy. I love that. My God. He made the Mimi badge. Yeah, I want to do some sort of Mimi badge for my anniversary next month. But I think I want to try and use a photo of her, like her funniest photo. And like close up of her face, like the funniest one I could find. Okay, King. Oh, Punk, I love that. Swifty, of course you can. Whatever you want. Oh, I know, girl. She honestly would let anyone touch her belly. That's how sweet she is. It's so beautiful. Honestly, I love how sweet her nature was. And I'm not just saying that because I'm her mummy. She's such a sweet girl that someone would come in to rub my TV and she would probably get them to rub her belly. Like, she's just so cute. Honestly, just the cutest, friendliest girl. I know, Eggy. Oh, she's so beautiful. I just want to keep posting photos. Little monster boy. I just love all cats. Cats. Thank you so much, Pixel. Do it. Nah, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girly. What is this email? I get so much spam in my email. My electricity's due soon. Wait, maybe it's less electricity. Thanks for being a valid member. Don't you thank me. Yeah, I probably should eat. I probably should eat. Well, I gotta pee too. So Liz, that came. So I went with private this company called Rest Your Paws, and they come to you and they do it at your home, which is really sweet. And so she chose, I set up like 3 areas in the house, and she chose the bed because she slept there every night. And she was on her heat pad as well. So she got to be on her heat pad on the bed. The lighting was really lovely. So she was like, honestly, probably the comfiest spot. She was in the best place. Like, honestly, it was actually very cute how comfy she was. So she would have been on it. Oh, so nice that she was like warm and cozy. And then they brought, so that photo you see, she is in, she's on the little bed they brought, this big fluffy bed. And then they wrapped her in that blankie in that bed because it was a bit windy outside because we have to go from my house to her car. So she was all wrapped, all cute, and she's so little. She's so little. Let me see if I can find the photo before the thing. And then she put her in the car. And I just honestly was like, can I take a photo of that? She looks so beautiful. Because I didn't take many photos. It just felt inappropriate. But also I was like, I want every photo I can with her, you know? Do I not have it on this phone? Do I have it? No, I think Reese has it. But yeah, she's so small in there and so cute. And then yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like we put her in front of like the flowers, and we were just sharing some words, and I took a photo, and then I was like, oh, okay, bye. And honestly, the girl was so cute. She was saying some nice stuff, and then I said to her, I was like, thank you so much. Like, it takes a special person to do what you do. And she was like tearing up. I'm like, oh my God. Like, you'd have to have the biggest heart, resilience, empathy, strength to do what they do on a daily basis. So yeah, she was perfect. Hi Mary, how are you? Yeah, exactly, Pixel. I'm glad I have it because honestly, it's a beautiful photo. She, like, of course, the reality of that photo is so like grim, but at the same time, she looks so at peace and so beautiful that I'll show you. So look away if you don't want to see it. But I don't look at this photo and see grim. I just see comfy girl. Comfy, snuggly girl. Look how big that bed is. Oh my God. It's so cute. Ah! I know. I'm trying to get in the sunlight. I know. Ah! I know. The sun, the flowers. So cute. I love this. There's a bigger bed than me. I know. They provided this because I think they don't know how big your animal's going to be, but she's so little that, you know. I know, little sunshine. Oh. She honestly would have been like so comfy. It's so beautiful. So, big ass cat. Oh my God, Cammy. Oh my God, I could maybe commission someone on Etsy. That would be a beautiful photo. Lizzie, true. That's true. Pudge, I love you. That was so funny. Yeah, I think that's so pretty. I have a small print, but I think I want I have a smaller one. I didn't realize it would print this small. Oh my God, Kaz. I'd probably put like, maybe if I got a screen commissioned, I'd probably put it on the wall of the screen, like maybe draw it as like a photo. But yeah, I'd like to do something special with this because she looks so perfect. Like, she looks so cute, my little girl. Yeah, that'd be cute as little canvas print. So good. Honestly, I didn't even like, it was just, I didn't have my phone. I was like, Reese, can I have your phone? You know, I left it at home. Thank God he had his phone on him. Because I wasn't even thinking about my phone. Because you think in the moment, you're like, I'm going to take so many photos. But then when you're actually in the moment with your pet, you're not like, you want to take pics, but you also want to savor like every moment of them looking at you. And like I was massaging her paws while she was like sedated, because she was still there. She was breathing, she was happy, she was just looking at me. She was all comfy. So cute. Actually, a photo I have of her, it's just her face looking at me. What I find so cute is you can see the reflection of me in her eyes. I was like, oh, she's looking at me. No, fair punk. I'm so sorry the smoke's so ass. Oh my god. That would be cute, Joe. I actually would like to get a lot of things commissioned. If I'm real with you. There's even this pillow that like they hand stitch a portrait of your kitty. I want to get everything, honestly. I want my whole house to be my cat, really. Thanks, Nordic. I've been crying a lot. The stream was nice for me to have a break from that. Because it's nice to be a little silly thing. 500? Oh yeah, she is my wallpaper. But I mean, look at her. She's so cute. Silly Goris. I'm gonna call the fire meese. I know. Nice to throw ass to supernatural black hole. Exactly. Exactly. No, it was nice to have some giggles. I appreciate it, guys, because I would totally have understood if everyone was like, I'm not clicking that stream. You know? I totally get it. Like, it's heavy. But on that note, I think I might behave. And I might go put some food in me. And... yeah. Just give myself some self-care. But this was a form of self-care, to be honest. And I really, really appreciate it, guys. So much. KFC, here we come. Sush, also, I love you. We'll raid Whiskey. I forgot to raid Whiskey the other day. I was so out of it with my brain. I forgot to send you guys his way. How about say the termite. Is the bar tender? Just say, is the bar tender? Thank you so much, Sully. Thank you everyone so much for being here. Like I said, I didn't think I would go live today, but honestly, this put so much love in my heart. It means so much. Just to kind of break the ice, because it's the first stream without Mimi on my lap. And yeah, it makes me feel more comfortable now for my sponsor. Like now I'm like not as scared to go live. So I appreciate that so much. And thank you for all your support and all the laughs as well. That was so much fun. I adore you. I will either see you US Sunday or I'm definitely going to be here US Monday. But I might be here US Sunday. But I'm definitely having the next 2 days off. So, yes. I love you guys. I see you soon. Bye.